what in essence is cryptocurrency in general?
Crypto is simply peer-to-peer transactions, peer-to-peer sharing data, and removing middlemen. The whole sole purpose of crypto is it was created to remove middlemen. So Bitcoin, for years, people have been trying to figure out a way where you and I could send value to one another and remove a third party, such as a bank or a merchant in the middle of the transaction. Then people looked at the success that Satoshi had by blending together existing technologies. And
Right.
they said, well, now I can apply that to lending. I can apply that to borrowing. And then people start getting the bright idea to create stable coins and DeFi and basically so many other ways. Because think about it, in the digital world, every single thing that we do, there is a middleman sitting in between it. Right now, you and I are conversing. YouTube is sitting in the middle of that. That's
Right.
centralization. They control what we see, what we can say, and basically right now you're getting a super chat. They're going to dictate whether or not you get that super chat and how much you get. That's
Right.
centralization, right? When we look at Facebook, when we look at banking, and there's a lot of problems with having central entities, especially in the tech world where they control so much of the flow of what we see, what we think, and how we feel.
New York native Elijah Whitehead, better known as Eli on YouTube, or where he most frequents on Instagram as at Common Sense Eli is his handle. And he has a great channel on YouTube called What Happened to Common Sense. Very informative channel, from finances to stocks to most important in these times and the future, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is the main topic on Eli's channel. Also, he does Java apps, also teaches us about coding and how to get jobs. Very informative. Let's continue. Here he goes in explaining the in and outs and how it works in layman's terms. His explanation and knowledge on this topic, outstanding. The gentleman knows what he's talking about. He also is very helpful if you can stay through the whole hour of his whole live stream. So let me explain a little more and bring you more information. Remember, I'm here to bring you information and the works of conservatives like Eli and how they contribute to our society. But I digress. Editor, let's introduce Eli and see him in action. Editor, roll clip. Fair use.
Channel and what you do.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is What Happened to Common Sense. And also you can follow me on Instagram at Common Sense Eli. I want you guys to understand that there's a lot of people out here impersonating me.
Yes.
I will never direct message you asking you for money. I've been involved in the cryptocurrency space now dating back to late 2012, 2013. I've lived through the Mt. Gox crash, the bankruptcy. I've witnessed the different hacks, the different schemes. I've seen BitConnect. I've seen literally everything that you can think of in crypto. I am very seasoned at what is legitimate technology, what is a legitimate group of founders, a legitimate roadmap versus what is really the Web 2.0 masking itself as the Web 3, really just trying to make a quick buck. And you know, the reason why I created my YouTube channel in the first place was really just being able to educate people on how they should be looking about approaching crypto. Because what you have to understand is that literally there are billions of dollars floating around out here. So naturally it's going to attract people who are looking to make a quick buck, right? So I think that it's important to have these type of conversations so that we can separate the safe moons, the Dogecoins, the ripples from solid technology such as Chainlink, Energy Web Token, Bitcoin, Aave, Maker, Loopring. Like these are real technologies that actually have real world partnerships. You have Goldman Sachs building on top of the Ethereum blockchain, issuing its first bond.
I want to talk about the point something percent that concerns me.
And that's the beautiful thing. That's the whole purpose as to why crypto was created, where we can have rules without rulers, because people have been looking for alternatives to that system. So on one end, you're right. It's great to have checks and balances, a person that can come in and basically say, you know what, JT didn't make this charge, give JT back his money.
Right.
But see, on the other end, there are people who will buy my product, buy my service, get the product, get the service, and then contact their bank 30 days later, 60 days later and say, hey, I didn't make that charge, and do a fraudulent chargeback. So yes, the system is good in aspects of having those checks and balances, but
Right.
then it's problematic in other cases where they can check and sometimes they are wrong. Also, you have to think about censorship. There is, yes, there may be checks and balances, but there's a lot of fraud and negligent behavior that happens in the banking system because they have that much control. Case in point, going back to 2008, or even going through the FinCEN files, how you have over $2 trillion of money laundering and fraudulent things happening within the banking system. So this idea that, well, because you can reverse a transaction, that it's good, yeah, it may be good in some aspects, and in other aspects, it's not good.
The issues that government and institutions have to deal with is they have to protect the people who don't know. And the issue is most people are financially illiterate. When you also add the fact that they're also technology illiterate, you put those two things together, you're creating a pool of victims that have to be protected.
And that's the sole reason why crypto was created. It's not for you. If you are a person,
Say that again. Please say that part again.
It's not. See, we have to get to this understanding that everything isn't for everyone.
Yes.
No one is saying to you that crypto is for everyone. If you cannot properly store your seed, if you do not properly know how to protect your assets, and you're not technologically savvy, then crypto isn't for you. Right. But see, my generation and younger, we are digitally native. So we understand very well how to use the internet, how not to click on links and get malware on our computer, not to have $100,000 in a wallet and then go and take my wallet password and put it on a note on my computer, right? So I think that, again, and this is where education comes into play.
Right.
It's important that you educate yourself on what you're doing, but we can't sit up here and then look at the decentralized opportunity to give us freedom and somehow look at the centralized system and say, well, this centralized system is so great. Having banks control when you can and can't spend your money and who you can and can't send your money to isn't a great thing. I don't know about you, but I travel a lot, and it's a nightmare trying to use my credit cards when I'm out of state and having banks tell me how much of my money I can use, when I can use my money. No one should have that much control over my finances. Now, if you want that and you're okay with that, that's totally for you. Actual real article. This man won a Nobel Peace Prize. Imagine if you said, you know what, I'm not going to invest in the Oracles, the IBMs, the Apples of the world, the Yahoos of the world. I'm not going to invest in the Facebooks, the Amazons, the Netflix, the Googles, because the internet is going to have no greater impact than the fax machine. How poor would you be? How much of that wealth transfer would you have missed out on by listening to an academic? And yet this man won a Nobel Peace Prize. To be factually incorrect, this article right here, I shared this before. The internet, this article was written by Clifford Stool. He's another academic, really, really smart guy. In 1995, he talked about why cyberspace isn't and will never be nirvana. So let's go and read that article. It says, after 2 decades online, I'm perplexed. It's not that I haven't had a gas of a good time on the internet. I've met great people and even caught a hacker or two. But today, I'm uneasy about this most trendy and oversold community. Visionaries see a future of telecommuting workers, interactive libraries, and multimedia classrooms. They speak of electronic town hall meetings and virtual communities. Commerce and business will shift from offices and malls to networks and modems, and the freedom of digital networks will make governments more democratic. Now, again, this was written in 1995, and he's basically saying that visionaries see these things happening, but they won't happen. Well, ask yourself, didn't all of those things happen? Everything that he said would not happen, happened. And we just witnessed that with this whole great reset shift that we're going through right now, where people are using Zoom to do meetings, where YouTube is the world's largest library, or Google is the world's largest library. We have online college universities, but yet this smart man in 1995 said that these things would not exist. Commerce. Right now, people are sending me donations. That's commerce. People are joining my tech academy. That's commerce, facilitating on the internet. Again, an academic, a smart man, book smart, but common sense dumb. which is why I named my channel What Happened to Common Sense. This man, Steve Jobs, he was a visionary. He was an entrepreneur. So where others saw problems, he saw opportunity. As I said before, this is your app store moment. This is JavaScript in the web browser moment for you, where now you have the ability, you have a blank canvas where you can go out here and you can create anything that you want to, because you can fork this technology. Uniswap is just a fork of Bancor, and then SushiSwap is a fork of the Uniswap application. You can go out here and start forking a lot of this technology and going out here and creating your own applications, your own protocols, because of open source technology. You have the ability to do that. As I said before, when Steve Jobs created this device and he launches that app store, if you knew how to make apps back then, back in 2008, 2009, you were a shark in a pond, because there was so much demand for your skills and not a lot of competition. That's where you are right now with crypto.
Hey guys, it's Jose, your regular Joe Blow again, keeping an eye out and my ears open to talent and vision and a look into a part of the future in the digital space. It's full salute, sir. Thank you, Eli, for what you do and what you're bringing to the community. For your continued help in this particular and difficult field, guys, as always, do your own research and look into this field. Keep an open mind, and remember, I'm learning as well. And crypto is an intriguing, necessary topic to know. Go check them out. This is a field. It's a must. Give them a chance. I'll continue to keep on bringing you more and more of the best of my ability. Thank you guys for sticking with me to the end. Thank you for the support. Stay free.